terrifying mid-air drama unfolded aboard a Japan Airlines Boeing 737, plunging passengers into a nightmare of plummeting altitude and deploying oxygen masks. This harrowing incident, where the aircraft dropped a staggering 26,000 feet in just 10 minutes, has sent a fresh wave of shock through the aviation industry and beyond. Take a look.
In a terrifying mid-air scare that could have ended in disaster, a Japan Airlines flight from Shanghai to Tokyo nosedived nearly 26,000 feet after sudden cabin pressurization failure, prompting an emergency landing in Osaka. What began as a calm, uneventful journey aboard flight JL8696 swiftly spiraled into sheer horror. Without warning, alarms blared inside the cockpit as the Boeing 737 detected an abnormality in the pressurization system. This is the moment when panic sets in. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. Some scribbled final messages, while one reportedly began drafting a will mid-air. The fear is the kind that haunts long after touchdown. The aircraft began a rapid, stomach-lurching descent, shedding nearly 26,000 feet in under 10 minutes, stabilizing just below 10,500 feet, from above 36,000 feet to 10,500 feet in just 10 minutes. To grasp the scale of this terrifying plunge, consider this. The plane dropped a vertical distance equivalent to nearly the entire height of Mount Everest, the world's tallest peak. The Japanese Transport Ministry has launched a full-scale investigation into the technical fault. While no injuries have been reported, the psychological toll is undeniable. The flight operated under a code share between Japan Airlines and its low-cost unit, Spring Airlines Japan. It took off from Shanghai but was forced to abandon its Tokyo route and rerouted to Kansai International Airport in Osaka, where it landed safely. This latest scare intensifies growing concern over Boeing, dogged by a string of fatal crashes and mechanical issues globally. Aviation safety is yet again under a harsh spotlight. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
India continues to enhance its strategic ties with the United States. The Defense Minister Rajnath Singh held a phone conversation with the US Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, where both the leaders pushed forward military cooperation between the two sides. They reviewed the roadmap for long-term defense collaboration, covering joint training, military exchanges, and deeper engagement between the defense industries. According to sources, India raised concerns over the delayed delivery of the G404 jet engines for the Tejas Mark 1A fighters. These American engines are important for powering India's indigenous aircraft, and this delivery has been delayed for over 2 years due to contractual obligations. India's defense minister also thanked the US for its support to India in its fight against terrorism. Hegseth, meanwhile, extended a formal invitation to Rajnath Singh to visit the United States and continue bilateral defense discussions face-to-face. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also met Hegseth at the Pentagon. Hegseth highlighted the integration of US defense systems into India's armed forces. India already operates an array of American military equipment. In fact, this includes the MQ-9B drones, as well as Apache and also the C-17 Globemasters and maritime surveillance aircraft. But while New Delhi augments its defense ties with the United States, it seems Islamabad has to settle for just photo ops and potential warnings. Let's tell you what this is about. Just weeks ago, US President Donald Trump hosted Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir at the White House for lunch. And that symbolic lunch came as Pakistan publicly backed Iran and criticized Israel only to later cozy up with Washington, Israel's closest ally. Shifting focus for now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 5-nation tour to attend the BRICS summit in Brazil and bolster India's relationships with crucial global south countries. Commencing the first leg of the visit, Prime Minister Modi arrived in Ghana, where he received the Guard of Honor along with a 21-gun salute at the airport. He became the first Indian Prime Minister, in fact, to visit Ghana after 30 years. He also interacted with the Indian diaspora there. The trip, set to end on July 9, will be marking the Prime Minister's longest diplomatic visit in his decade-long premiership. Prime Minister Modi's 8-day tour will cover 2 continents, taking him to Trinidad and Tobago next, followed by Argentina, Brazil, Namibia. In Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister will hold talks with the President and the Prime Minister. He is also set to address a joint session of the island nation's parliament during his 2-day-long visit there. And on July 4, Prime Minister Modi will be visiting Argentina, where he will be engaging in comprehensive discussions with the President to bolster the India-Argentina partnership across various sectors, including defense, agriculture, mining, energy, trade. Next, Prime Minister Modi will be traveling to Brazil and attending the 17th BRICS summit in Rio de Janeiro. And there he will be addressing key global challenges, including governance reform, security, climate action, economic cooperation. During the summit, he is also expected to hold several bilateral meetings. And following the summit, Prime Minister Modi will be embarking on a state visit to Brasilia, where he will be discussing ways to strengthen India's strategic partnership with Brazil, with the President, focusing on areas like trade, defense, energy, space, technology, agriculture. And this visit marks Prime Minister Modi's 4th trip to Brazil as Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi, in fact, will be concluding his tour with a visit to Namibia on July 9, marking the 3rd ever prime ministerial visit from India to the country, where he will be engaging in bilateral talks with the President and addressing the Parliament of Namibia. The UK Chancellor just had a rather emotional moment, or rather several emotional moments throughout the day at the House of Commons. Reeves was seen wiping away a tear after a series of questions from the Tory leader, Kemi Badenoch, who suggested that the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, had failed to confirm whether or not Reeves would stay in the post until the election, and Reeves appeared to look visibly upset and distraught even before the Prime Minister's questions started. During the entire 30-minute session, Badenoch said the Chancellor looked absolutely miserable and described her as a human shield. Take a look.
Mr. Speaker, she's pointing at me. She looks absolutely miserable. Yeah. Labour MPs, yeah, she looks absolutely miserable. Labour MPs, they can point as much as they like. The fact is, Labour MPs are going on the record saying that the Chancellor is toast, and the reality is that she is a human shield for his incompetence.
And refuting these rumours or other claims, 10 Downing Street was swift to weigh in, insisting that Reeves was not going anywhere and, in fact, had the Prime Minister's complete backing. And later, a spokesperson clarified, saying that Reeves had not offered her resignation, calling her emotionally charged moment a personal matter. However, there is definitely more than what meets the eye, it seems, with pressure building up on Reeves after the government reportedly managed to pass the welfare reform bill only after it removed measures that would have led to savings in the long run. And Reeves, on the other hand, has been blamed by some Labour members for the Parliament for pushing billions of pounds of savings that were described as cruel and targeting the most vulnerable. All this has put Reeves in a rather tricky spot, especially with Starmer withdrawing the proposed welfare cuts, a U-turn from the previous proposal, something that leaves her with some hard choices to make in the upcoming autumnal budget.
What we delivered last night was a bill which ends mandatory reassessment of those with severe disabilities. That is the right thing to do. It rebalances universal credit. That is long overdue, and it sets out a pathway to reform of PIP.
He's got some brass neck. Has he read the papers this morning? Has he read the papers this morning? That bill will achieve nothing. It is a pointless waste of time and is absolute proof that he doesn't have a plan.
Now, this incident in itself could indicate a lot of things. Perhaps Starmer's government alleged lack of confidence in Reeves led her to tearing up, or her just simply buckling under pressure and the grilling from the opposition. Whatever the reason might be, it's important to remember here that politicians are human beings as well, and they are allowed to have their moments of being vulnerable and have a moment on their own, warranting respect and also privacy. And dramatic visuals have emerged of North Korea's Kim Jong-un laying the North Korean national flag over coffins in what appears to be a tribute to the country's soldiers killed fighting for Russia in Ukraine. As Pyongyang and Moscow mark 1 year since signing a major military pact at a gala performance held in Pyongyang, North Korean and Russian artists performed before a large audience. On a massive screen, photos showed the North Korean leader standing beside coffins, covering each with the North Korean flag. Some attendees in the audience could be seen wiping away their tears, while Kim Jong-un could also be seen visibly moved. And at the gala performance, images of North Korean and Russian soldiers waving their respective national flags with patriotic slogans written in Korean were also displayed. North Korea's state television aired footage of the event that also showed the Russian culture minister in attendance. She led a delegation to mark the first anniversary of the strategic partnership signed by Kim Jong-un and the Russian president in June last year, which includes a mutual defense pact. And according to reports based on Ukrainian intelligence assessments, North Korea is set to triple the number of its troops fighting for Russia along the front lines with Ukraine, sending as many as 30,000 soldiers to assist Moscow. That would significantly expand its previous deployment, which reportedly included 11,000 soldiers sent in November to help repel Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region. And reports estimate that around 4,000 of those North Korean troops were either killed or injured since their deployment. If you blinked, you probably would have missed it. Pericard has unleashed the fastest serve ever seen at Wimbledon, clocking a whiplashing 246 kilometers per hour. And when you stick that against the fastest move in sport, it's right up there with the elite and the best. He stands tall, 6'8", and serves even taller. And here's the twist, he did not even win the point. His record-breaking serve was returned by Taylor Fritz. Yet over the match, he still blasted 37 aces, proving that the heat is real. And to just put this into perspective, it's faster than a Formula One pit lane speed limit. In baseball, the fastest pitch ever recorded came from Aroldis Chapman. It was 170.3 kilometers per hour. Cricket's quickest delivery, Pakistan's Shoaib Akhtar, the Rawalpindi Express, hurled one at 100.2 miles per hour or 161.3 kilometers per hour at the 2003 World Cup. In football, Ronnie Heberson's legendary strike for Sporting Lisbon reached just under 212 kilometers per hour. Impressive numbers, but Pericard's serve blew past them all. But when it comes to tennis serves, the official record still belongs to John Isner, who hit 253 kilometers per hour back in 2016. And our next story is about a perfume, but no ordinary one. In his latest move, the US President Donald Trump has launched a luxury perfume. It's priced at $249. In fact, it joins a growing list of Trump-branded consumer products, from sneakers to even smartphones, under the venture called Trump Mobile. Last month, Trump disclosed more than $600 million in income from real estate, branding, crypto, other ventures, sparking fresh criticism over the monetization of his presidency in a way. Trump's business dealings going far beyond just retail products. His two crypto tokens, Dollar Trump and dollar Melania generated close to $100 million in trading fees within 2 weeks of launch. And Trump also owns a 60% stake in a crypto platform called World Liberty Financial. In real estate, his Mar-a-Lago resort earned an estimated $24 million last year. $24 million. His company is exploring deals for Trump-branded towers in Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Oman recently secured a $1.5 billion project in Vietnam. Watchdog groups are sounding alarm over potential conflict of interest, and Trump has promised to distance himself from business decisions as he did during his first term. But ethics experts are arguing the safeguards remain insufficient. Trump's media platform, Truth Social, is publicly listed, with him holding more than 50% of the shares. Critics say such entanglements risk distorting public policy for private gain.